Imagine an elderly man walks into a luxury restaurant to celebrate a quiet anniversary alone. He's wearing an old sweater and worn-out shoes. He has money. He's ready to pay. But the manager takes one look at him, calls security, and has him thrown out onto the street like trash. What she doesn't know. This beggar built the entire restaurant chain with his own hands. And his son is now the CEO. Today's story is about the ultimate instant karma. Arthur, 68. Humble founder of the Golden Palace restaurant chain. After a heart attack, he retired and handed the business to his son. He still dresses simply. Allison, 40, arrogant manager of the flagship restaurant. Obsessed with luxury, she despises anyone who looks poor. Max, 38, Arthur's son, now the CEO. Ruthless but fair. Loves his father more than anything. Arthur decides to visit the very restaurant where he and his late wife had their first date, now the crown jewel of his son's chain. He arrives at 7 p.m. in a plain sweater, old trousers, and scuffed shoes. He carries a worn leather bag containing a vintage cookbook, a gift for Max. Arthur sits at an empty table by the window. A young waitress rushes over and rudely tells him to leave, saying the average bill is $100 and he clearly can't afford it. Arthur calmly asks for just a cup of tea. The waitress calls the manager, Allison. Allison looks at Arthur like he's dirt. She loudly announces that his clothes are disgusting, that he looks like a homeless beggar, and that his credit card is probably fake. Arthur tries to show her a black unlimited card. She snatches it, laughs, and throws it back on the table. Then she calls security. 2 guards grab the old man by his arms and drag him outside. He stumbles and falls on the pavement. His bag bursts open, spilling the cookbook and a faded photo of his wife. Passers-by step around him. Allison stands at the door, laughing and apologizing to other guests for the incident. Arthur picks himself up. His phone is broken. His hand is bleeding. He finds a payphone and calls his son, Max. When Max hears what happened, he goes ice cold. He tells his father to wait right there. 20 minutes later, Max arrives with lawyers and security footage from the restaurant's cameras. The next morning, Allison is called to the head office. She thinks she's getting a promotion. Instead, she walks into a conference room and finds Max, 2 corporate lawyers, and Arthur, his hand bandaged, sitting at the head of the table. Max plays the video on a large screen. Allison's face goes white. She finally understands, the beggar she threw out is the founder of the entire chain. And her boss's father. Allison falls to her knees, begging for forgiveness. She says she didn't know. She has a mortgage. Kids. She'll do anything. Max doesn't raise his voice. He simply announces. She is fired immediately, with no severance. The security guards are also terminated. The video will be sent to every major restaurant association in the country. No fine dining establishment will ever hire her again. Her name will be blacklisted across the industry. He adds that she should thank God his father didn't have another heart attack on her watch. That evening, Arthur sits at the same table by the window. The staff is new. They greet every guest with a genuine smile. Arthur orders tea and a small cake. He places the photo of his wife next to the plate. Max joins him and quietly says, "I'm sorry, Dad. I should have watched our people better." Arthur replies, "You came when it mattered. That girl? Let her learn to respect people. Even if it's the hard way." Allison stands outside the restaurant, but security blocks her. A new sign has been installed near the entrance. "We welcome everyone. Appearance doesn't matter." She looks at her phone, rejection emails from every restaurant she applied to. She has nowhere to go. Was Max too harsh, or did Allison get exactly what she deserved? Tell us in the comments. Like, share and subscribe for more instant karma stories.